Have you ever wondered why some people seem to build wealth effortlessly while others, making the exact same amount of money, are stuck struggling forever? Well, it turns out the answer has almost nothing to do with your paycheck and everything to do with what's going on in your head.
I mean, you've probably seen this happen, right? Two people start at the same job, same salary. Fast forward 10 years, one is drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and the other is financially comfortable, maybe even wealthy. What is going on there? What's the secret sauce?
And here's the thing, it's not luck. It isn't even about being smarter. It's a fundamental, deep-seated difference in how they think about money. So the real question is, what do they know that the rest of us don't? Let's break down these critical mindset shifts. All right, so the very first, and you could argue the most important shift, is where you put your focus. It's about looking past your salary and towards ownership. See, the average mindset is completely obsessed with that salary number. How much do I make per month? But the rich mindset asks a totally different question. What do I own? They get that a salary is fragile. It's temporary. The second you stop working, it's gone. But ownership? That's something that can grow on its own. So what do we even mean by ownership? Look, it's not just about owning a car or a house. We're talking about owning things that actually generate value for you. Things like shares in a great company, a small side business, or investments that grow over time. Essentially, you're building systems that make money for you, so you're not always trading your time for it. And that idea of ownership, it plugs right into our second huge shift in thinking, which is all about truly understanding where your money is going. This is probably the simplest but most powerful financial definition you will ever need. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. The average person spends their life accidentally filling it with liabilities, car payments, endless subscriptions, credit card debt. The wealthy, on the other hand, are obsessed with acquiring assets first. Now check this out. This is a personal rule that one of our sources lives by, and it's a total game changer. Imagine telling yourself, my luxury will come from my passive income. Just think about what that does. It forces you to build assets, because without assets, you have no passive income, which means no luxury. It completely flips your spending priorities on their head. Let me give you a quick real-world example. There was a young guy who desperately wanted his dream motorcycle, but he was convinced he had zero extra money. So he sat down and did a full audit of his spending, and what he found was wild. Thousands of rupees were just leaking out of his account every single month on stuff he didn't even use. By cutting out that financial trash, he suddenly found more than enough money for the bike's monthly payment. The money was always there. It was just hidden in plain sight. And that story brings up a quality that is absolutely essential for building wealth, but honestly, it's the one that's the hardest for most of us: patience. Most of the world is stuck on this hamster wheel of thinking month to month. You're just thinking about this month's bills, next month's rent. It's a survival mode timeline. But the wealthy? They are playing a completely different game. They're making plans for 5 years from now, 10 years, even 20 years down the line. And this is the core of it right here. It's about being willing to feel a little bit of pain now, like not buying that shiny new thing, for a massive reward later. They know how to plant a small seed today, knowing that with time it's going to grow into a giant, fruit-bearing tree. It's a fundamental principle. So why is that long-term view so crucial? Well, it all comes down to one word, the most powerful force in all of finance: compounding. It's just the simple process where your money starts making its own money. And at first, it's so slow and quiet you barely notice it, which is why most people give up. But the wealthy know that this quiet beginning is the secret to an explosive ending. And this is the perfect way to picture it. Compounding is like a tiny little snowball at the top of a really, really long hill. For what feels like forever, it's just a small ball. But you let it keep rolling, and it picks up more snow and gets bigger and faster and bigger until eventually it becomes this unstoppable avalanche of wealth. But here's something you might not think about. Building this kind of mindset, it isn't just an internal job. It is massively influenced by a hidden force: the people you choose to surround yourself with. So think about the people in your life right now. They probably fall into one of three categories. First, you have the supporter. They might not get what you're doing, but they cheer you on. Then you have the doubter, the one who tells you a million reasons why your idea is stupid and why it'll never work. And finally, you have the mentor, the person who's already done what you want to do and can actually show you the way. So you have to ask yourself, seriously, when it comes to your dreams, your finances, Whose voice is the loudest one in your head? Is it the doubter, constantly pulling you down? Or are you actively seeking out the mentor? Who you listen to will literally determine your future.
Okay, we've covered some massive ideas here. But if we boil everything down to its absolute essence, it really comes down to a single, powerful mindset shift that's filtered through one simple question.
When faced with a purchase, a new phone, a vacation, whatever, most people ask a very simple question. How much does this cost? The entire focus is on the money that's about to leave their pocket. But the rich mindset, it flips that question completely on its head. They ask, what will this earn me? It's a profound shift. This question forces every single decision through the lens of asset building. Will this purchase make me more money? Will it buy me more time? Will it grow in value? It's a filter that changes absolutely everything. And this all leads us to the final and most critical takeaway from this whole explainer. There's a huge misconception out there that people develop these wealthy mindsets after they get money. The truth is the complete opposite. They become rich because they think this way in the first place. The mindset has to come first. The money simply follows the mindset you create. You have to change how you think before your bank account will ever change. So I'll leave you with this one question. Forget about overnight success or lottery tickets. Your path starts right now with a single thought. What is one idea you heard today, whether it's assets versus liabilities or asking, what will this earn me, that you can start applying the second you're done with this? Because that one tiny shift could be the start of everything.